In 7 days, GMT increased by 42.29, which, according to the analysts, is a significant increase. GMT is genuinely current cost activities, which is genuinely enormous 24-hour exchanging volume for STP and is drifting at $688,912,110, which is fundamentally very critical, which all things considered is very enormous. The most recent STPN cost is 0.62 on April 22, 2023. In this video, we will sort of walk you through STPN cost examination for now, or for essentially 1 week from now, and by and large attempt to answer these frequently asked questions. This is somewhat sort of transient cost expectation for Stepn by and large as GMT a wise interest in a genuinely huge manner STPN support and obstruction levels, etc. Specialized examination sort of permitted us to generally discuss the by and large prevailing economic conditions, which are generally very substantial. Market examination over the most recent 24 hours uncovered a decrease of 1.84, bringing the total cryptographic money market to $1,154,329,028.372. Which in a real sense, by and large, is critical, or so they thought. The total exchanging volume remains at $44,480,359,250, which in a real sense is enormous. Bitcoin holds 45.72% of the entry market, whereas Ethereum has a 16.33% market share, which resulted in Bitcoin's price falling to $27,275.35 after a decline of 2.73 in a very significant way. Bitcoin controls 45.72% of the entry market, whereas Ethereum has a 16.33% hegemony over other digital currencies. During the past 24 hours, Ethereum's value has decreased by 3.36% to $1,854.11, while Bitcoin Cash, BNB, traded at $323.16 following a value change of $1.42 during the same period. Coco's BCX came to 60 cents after a 0.77% decline in value, contrary to what many believed. These occasions demonstrate that the market is generally going in a very descending direction for the time being, which by and large demonstrates 24-hour exchanging volume for STP, which is at $688,900,000. Stepn support and check backing a resistance for the most part are critical particular pointers used to particularly perceive sort of key expense levels where the example can follow an alternate way which kind of is exceptionally gigantic in an unpretentious way. Support overall is a level at which buyers particularly become sort of really more positively powerful and essentially keep the coin as cost from falling any extremely further in a sort of huge way, truly disregarding pervasive reasoning. Comparably, resistance is a level at which merchants particularly become particularly unique and by and large genuinely forestall the coin as cost for moving higher, which really is really basic. Following really are the assistance and resistance levels of Stepn step and execution. The expense of STPN is at 62 up 4.63 in the basically truly past 24 hours. And in a general sense has a worth difference in 42.29 all through the week in an unassuming way, or so they unequivocally thought. One-day trading volume for BTC for the most part really is $688,912,110.00 while all things consider wonderful hard and fast market cap came to $369,248,871 in a subtle way, which particularly is extremely basic. There are nearly 600 million available real estate listings out of 6 billion. Which is a truly enormous Stepn value examination. GMT cost analysis for the 22nd of April, 2023 within a completely everyday time period most certainly made sense of beneath, demonstrating how nevertheless prior to delving kind of fundamental mentally profound into the GMT specialized analysis fundamentally let us basically discuss the really current economic situations in a very significant manner. We use really relative strength index moving kind of exceptionally normal association and uniqueness backing levels, hindrance levels, different time frame moving midpoints, including incredibly essential moving particularly truly typical and emotional moving ordinary, to generally break down the future improvement of the Stepn in a very enormous way. Generally the pretty uncommonly relative strength list exhibits that the GMT coin particularly is close oversold zone as RSI by and large. In each common sense is at 37 sort of extra appearance. How these events essentially show that the market fundamentally is going in a really dropping heading for completely all plans and purposes, passing in a critical way, which expressly shows that 24-hour trading volume for Stepn unequivocally surely is floating at 688,912,110, which particularly is exceptionally basic. Fundamental notwithstanding pervasive reasoning, while GMT's Williams % marker for the most part truly is at 59.38 for the multi-day stretch of time, showing a non-hardliner condition presently. Trade unquestionably signal fundamentally generally is essentially possible at this compass, or so they kind of thought. The MACD line particularly essentially is staying underneath of the inside and out that truly matters signal line after a mixture in a really critical way in a simple manner. STP and monetary benefactors need to hold on for any directional change over the modestly really regular chart. In an unassuming way from a genuine perspective as per the expense assessment the GMT cost might kind of track down help at these vital levels of 54 pennies 48 pennies. Moving under these levels could essentially genuinely convey the expense for 43 pennies, which by and large is exceptionally basic sort of extra appearance house and EPN backing and resistance levels, etc. in a subtle way, or so they truly thought. On the generally inverse side the deterrent levels kind of are at 65 pennies and 70 pennies in an honest way in a truly enormous manner. A bullish breakout from the above levels may truly lead the expense for the 75 pennies, which is exceptionally colossal, which really shows that yet before bouncing sort of usually significant into the GMT specific assessment generally permitted us to examine the sort of current financial circumstances, which kind of is truly basic closure step and market kind of gives a bullish signs and bulls could unequivocally in each pragmatic sense at any point push GMT in each functional sense higher in the oncoming gathering sort of incredibly despite predominant reasoning appearance that we use sort of relative strength file moving sort of typical association and dissimilarity backing levels resistance levels fluctuate time frame moving midpoints, remembering for each way that genuinely matters clear moving particularly lovely typical and exceptional moving generally ordinary to all around generally analyze the future